Okay, this lecture is going to be a super quick lecture on the UNIX WC command, which you often use quite a bit when searching for things in the file and or in the case in this class doing forensic investigation. So first off, WC is just an abbreviation for word count. And what the word count command does is it will count lines, words, and characters in a file or in a stream of output. And what I mean by stream of output is we will have an upcoming lecture about I/O redirection. So you can actually issue a command and then send the output of that command into another command, for example, the WC, to count the lines of output. So the syntax of the WC command is this. Again, things in square brackets mean they're optional. So we have to have the WC command. We can have optionally one or more options to the WC command. And then actually the files are optional themselves. So if we're, for example, doing I/O redirection and counting things coming down a pipeline, we would not name a file. But often we do have a file. And again, what the ... means in this syntax is you can have a file or you can have multiple files, is what the ... means. Now, if we issue the WC command without any options, it will look like this, for example. Word count file.py. So evidently this is some Python program. And word count by default will give you 3 values. And the first number is the number of lines in the file. The second number is the number of words in the file. And the third number is the number of characters or bytes in the file. Now, sometimes you just want to see one thing, and I would say most commonly, all I care about is the total number of lines. So one option we will look at is -L, which says only output the number of lines that are present in the file. So an example of executing this and the output would be this. So word count -L file.py. It'll tell me there's 49 lines in the file.py. So it won't bother displaying the words or characters if I don't care about them. Now, this is a command that came out of UNIX. There are some Windows equivalents, or at least very similar commands that you can use to do the same thing on Windows. At the command prompt, you can issue the find command with /c/v, double quote, and then the name of a file. And that will count the number of lines in the file. Excuse me. If you're using PowerShell, you can use the get-content command. You can use file, and then that pipe is, we'll see, part of I/O redirection that came from UNIX. So type out the contents of the file and then pipe that into measure object, and the thing I want to measure is the number of lines in the file. So that's one way to get the number of lines. Another way is to use get-content file and kind of use this as an object and just say I want to see the count attribute, which will tell you the count of lines in the file. So like I said, super quick lecture on the WC command, but the WC command is very, very, very useful and very, very important.